Daily Bitcoin pod in today's 36 G's, baby. And quoting the high priest of Bitcoin, Max Kaiser, Bitcoin separates money from the state, defund monarchy, defund the central banks. Bitcoin fixes this. He also predicts rate cuts will boost Bitcoin to his $220,000 target. Send it. Let's freaking go. Also, breaking news, Bitcoin Ordinals see a resurgence on the Binance listing. We'll also be discussing Caitlin Long's Custodia Bank officially launches her Bitcoin custody platform, as well as Hong Kong is now considering crypto ETFs as part of an effort to become the leading digital asset hub. I'll be breaking down this latest report, as well as the latest regarding Bitcoin ETFs and the fresh surge of capital incoming. We're also going to be discussing one of the largest asset managers in the world, which is Fidelity, currently with $4.5 trillion in assets under management, exactly how much one Bitcoin will be worth by the year 2025, according to their head of macro, Jurrien Timmer, now that we have had a new price pump. This is a brand new prediction I have never shared before. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market, all this, plus so much more in today's show. Welcome everyone in that live chat. What it do, crypto crew? Passive income with AI. Good to see you. You guys enjoying this pump? Do you think we're gonna smash 36,000 and have a new annual high? I'm pretty hopeful myself personally. That's right, Jack Jiang. We're currently sitting above 35.5. You gotta love it. Shout out to Alex Watson. What it do, my friend? Jazz Tech says, what up, chaps? What up, fam? We got people tuning in from the UK. Shout out to Fairground Fun Fairs UK. Shout out to Relaxing Meditation Music. Shout out to the Coin Father. Shout out to our moderators, Bitcoin Maximus. Shout out to Digital Dankness. What up, fam? What it do? Matthew, good to see you as well. Miles, welcome. What's poppin'? Barry BTC in the building. Smash those likes. Thank you, Michael Volkman. Greatly appreciate that. And of course, we're enjoying this pump. You gotta love it. I mean, I live for this ish, you know what I mean? Matthew says 35.5 is a baby pump. When God candles, I would define that God candle as a $10,000 daily candle. And you know they're incoming, only a matter of time. Blake, we'll address that question a little later. He's asking what your favorite altcoins are, and you guys could address that as well. Let me know, and I'll read everyone's comments out loud. First and foremost, this is a live and interactive show. That's right, Brian, pump that mofo up, and let's freaking go. Shout out to the professor, Track U2, and the rest of the crypto crew. Chris B says, let's freaking go. Dollar cost average, bring it. That's right. Abel Gonzalez, let's go 36. Send it. Sherry Young in the building. Alex is predicting 300,000 plus in 2025. I hope you're right. You're also going to notice a poll in that live chat. Please, everyone, participate and just let me know where you feel the Bitcoin price action is likely to be in the year 2025. And let's freaking go. And a quick reminder to smash that subscribe button, receive an on-screen shout out from yours truly, and also make sure to smash the like button as it helps out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. Welcome everyone. This is podcast episode number 1454. I'm your host JV, and today is November 7th, 2023. We have lots to cover. Let's kick it off with our market watch as we do each and every day. As you can see on your screen, we got Bitcoin back in the green, looking to retest 36,000 and creeping towards that target, while Ethereum, BNB, and XRP are currently pulling back and in the red. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, the current crypto market cap is on the climb as well at $1.34 trillion with roughly $45.5 billion in volume in the past 24 hours. The Bitcoin dominance a little on the decline here today at 51.8%, and the Ether dominance has been dropping as well, currently at 17% even. I'd love for you to tell me in that chat, how high do you feel this Bitcoin dominance is likely to climb for this cycle peak? Let me know. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers of the past 24 hours, we got the Trust Wallet token leading the pack, up 9%, trading at $1.79, followed by Solana, up 9%, trading at 44 bucks, followed by Kronos, up almost 8%, trading just under 8 cents. And checking out Crypto Bubbles so we can see the top 100 gainers of the past week. Kind of a lot in the red right now, but we do have a handful in the green as well, being TWT up 9% and PLS up 6.4% and TON up 6.7%, with the biggest loser being WeMix down almost 19%. And checking out one of my favorite indicators, the Crypto Greed and Fear Index shows we're currently rated a 68 in greed. Yesterday was a 74, last week a 66, and last month a 50 dead in the middle, which is neutral. So there you have it, fam. How many of you are currently bullish on that King Crypto? Please let me know in that live chat. Yeah. So question from all, at the start of 2025 or the end? Neither. The peak So I believe the peak is going to occur in that year. I want to know where you feel that peak will likely land. That's the question. So please, that's what the poll is for in the chat. So please answer that. What a great time to be alive. God bless us all. Amen, Tennessee Eco Man. Appreciate you tuning in as well. Alex says, no favorite alts. Why guess when you have the king coin? That's right. And if someone asks me, what's the second best? You got to quote the great Michael Saylor. There is no second best. There's Bitcoin, right? You got Bitcoin. And do you think Bitcoin is likely to go up? It's going up forever, Laura. Quoting the Giga Chad. The stream is lagging. That's not good. Not lagging from Matthew. So if it's lagging for anyone else, let me know before we kick into high gear. Because once I get on a roll, I don't stop. I'll be spitting like thousands of words per, per segment. So let me know. Stream is lagging for me too, says Jerry Schick. Oh, that's not good. Let me know, guys. How many of you got a lag stream and how many of you got a good stream? I always check my internet before the live and it was good, but things fluctuate. After all, I'm in Puerto Rico, so, let's see. Hopefully it's good. What are the chances of FTX giving our coins back? I wouldn't hold my breath, but anything is possible. We'll see what the regulators do. Miles says it's not horrible yet. Audio is good, the video is lagging. Oh, that's not a good look. I wonder how to fix it during my live before we get into the content. I'm using Streamlabs. I tested my internet. The internet seemed to be good, so it may be something. Some technical glitch. Lagging in the UK, that's not good. Just the frame lags. Your voice is not lagging. The audio is perfect. Well, good to note the audio is perfect, but we don't know what's causing the video lag. So I'm trying to contemplate how to fix this in the flesh while I'm live. I don't know. If I would have known this sooner, I would have restarted and rebooted the computer, which typically fixes the whole situation. Videos lag and it's like max headroom. Do you remember that? If you don't ask before the stream, maybe someone's using your GPU to mine Bitcoin. Anything is possible during the bull runs. Who cares? Someone says the audio is good. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to continue because I don't want to waste anyone's time. And my stream is going to be good. So worst case scenario, I will upload to YouTube the perfect stream from the video recording. So this stream might not be perfect, but the video recording will be perfect. So bear with me, listen to the audio, and maybe the video will fix itself as I'm going into high gear. We shall soon see. And I appreciate the heads up, fam. I couldn't do this without y'all. So let's just kick it off into high gear and let's break down today's Bitcoin technical analysis. Check out the charts where the Bitcoin price action is likely to go next. So here we go. Check it out. You're looking at the Bitcoin 1 hour candle chart here. Bitcoin fell towards 34.5 November 7th as analysts' attention turned to mushrooming the open interest. Data from Cointelegraph and TradingView showed Bitcoin struggling to reclaim 35,000 as support. Bitcoin lacked clear direction into the Wall Street Open, but market participants predicted the volatility would soon return. The reason, they said, was a sharp increase in open interest on derivative markets. Quoting them here, almost 10,000 BTC worth 350 million in open interest added today, according to financial commentator TED Talks Macro. Now, Cointelegraph open interest reaching elevated levels has coincided with bouts of volatility in the recent months. Current levels total nearly 15.5 billion at this time, and James Van Stratton, research and data analyst at Crypto Insights Crypto Slate, described the fluctuations as noticeable. Quoting him here, the CME exchange preferred by institutional investors has achieved a new record in open interest with 105,000 BTC contracts open, valued at $3.68 billion. Binance has edged past this figure with open interest of approximately 113,500 BTC. This trend points to increasing involvement in Bitcoin futures, hinting at either a positive shift in the market mood or a move towards protective strategies by the investors. Now, the sense of uncertainty over how the open interest phenomenon would play out was shared by J.A. Martin, a contributor of on-chain analytics platform CryptoQuant, as he shares here on X. Bitcoin on the low time frame, the open interest on Bitcoin futures is ramping up. Certain apes are taking significant positions, but it is unclear to me whether they're going to short or to long. Now, in his analysis, he suggests the open interest was now in a territory that had previously seen 20% of the Bitcoin price drawdowns. Quoting him here, historically, whenever this metric surpassed 12.2 billion, it resulted in a minimum 20% decline of the Bitcoin price. That open interest deserved significant attention. Now, continuing this current pump, we have 36,000, which I think we're likely to retest here shortly as we started pumping right before I went live. According to SKU Analytics, Bitcoin's looking like a short covering bounce here. Some open interest is coming off the lows here too. Word up. Good to note. And going back here, let's see what other analysts we can quote here. We also have Material Indicators who shared the following. Calling a local top at 36,000 doesn't mean 36,000 is off the table this year, but the metrics I'm looking at indicate that at the very least it is off the table for this week. He says that call also doesn't mean the price will free fall back to the prior 25, 28, 5 range, but if a bull breakout isn't validated for this month, that range low is critical. So there you have it. I disagree with this analysts. Clearly, we're pumping right now, and I feel we're likely to retest 36,000 potentially here today. We shall soon see. And quoting Max Keiser, the high priest of Bitcoin, he says, Bitcoin separates money and all that gold from the state. Defund monarchy, defund the central banks. Bitcoin fixes this, and he's responding to this news here. The king delivers the king's speech from the throne in the House of Lords chamber. The speech is written by the government and sets out the legislative agenda for the new session. Max Keiser also wrote here in regards to this tweet, the Fed doesn't want to talk about rate cuts, but Wall Street is sniffing out an increasing likelihood of just that. 6 months ago, if the economy had fallen off the cliff, the Fed's hands were tied and it couldn't cut rates. Well, now it can. And Max Keiser responded, the rate cuts will boost Bitcoin to my $220,000 target for sure. We'll send it and let's freaking go. Now let's check the chat once again. Hopefully the stream is a little better. My apologies, fam. Wasn't my intention, clearly. Welcome, James Elsie. Appreciate you, fam. We're on the verge of the bull run. Not confirmed yet. Rhymes, I'm showing my age, says Boz Dragon. Appreciate y'all. Let's go, says Sherry. We still love the lagging face. All good, Jaws. I appreciate that. You guys are amazing. Rhymes with Crayon says it took it back with Max Headroom Ref. Word up. Josh Runge, what it do? Morton, welcome to the stream. Lower the biz rate. I don't think I can lower it during the live stream, but I'll check. Let's see if that's possible. I'm going to go to my settings. Maybe you have the solution for me, so I shouldn't reject it. I'll entertain it. Let's see if we can fix it. Stream. Let's see. Where are we at? General. Ask for that. Multi-streaming, stream. Settings. Oh, you can't change the settings when you're live. At least I tried, fam. It was worth a shot, but it's a no-go. Yes, was lagging, but sound is fine. Well, the sound is fine, and like I said, to make up for it, I will be recording the non-lagged version of the recording because the recording is fine on my end. So after the live stream, thank you, $0 Giro. You're amazing. Even with a lag, he still sent me a super chat. So greatly appreciated, fam. Much love, much respect. Spidey is calling for Bitcoin to, is that 500,000? Send it and let's freaking go. Personally, I love that target, but let's continue nonetheless, fam. We still have lots to cover. Let's dive into our next story of the day and discuss the latest with Bitcoin Ordinals, which is their NFTs. How many of you have actually experimented or used Bitcoin Ordinals before? Please do let me know. Ordinals is a BRC20 token collection minted on the Bitcoin blockchain, which surged 40% in the past 24 hours to $10.19 after listing on the crypto exchange Binance. And according to Binance's November 7th announcement, traders can now trade Ordinals against Tether. Now, Bitcoin and the Turkish lira as well. Binance claims that it did not charge developers any listing fees for the Ordi token, and that withdrawals will now open November 8th as part of the initial incentives. The first 1,000 users who deposit at least 72 Ordi to the exchange receive 50 USDT trading rebate voucher. Quoting them here, Ordi is a relatively new token that poses a higher than normal risk, and as such will likely be subject to high price volatility. Word up. Now, the Bitcoin Ordinals is a numbering system that assigns a unique number to each individual Satoshi or 100 million of a Bitcoin, enabling tracking and transfer, and combined with the inscription process, which adds an additional layer of data to each Satoshi. This allows users to mint unique digital assets on the digital Bitcoin blockchain. The current token listed on Binance, Ordi, is not associated with developers of Bitcoin Ordinals, good to note. Invented by Web3 developer Rodarmore in January, BRC20 tokens have surged in popularity of one of the largest technological advancements in a 15-year-old blockchain. Now, self-custody wallet providers such as BitKeep, now BitGet Wallet, have enabled BRC20 token deposits as well as withdrawals since June. The total market cap of BRC20 tokens currently stands at $1.34 billion. So there you have it. Now I want to read your comments out loud. I'm curious how many of you have used Bitcoin Ordinals before. Bitcoin fees are rising today. That's right. What up, Punchy Coffee? Good to see you, fam. Baxter Churchill in the building. Appreciate you guys. I live in a rural area and I'm driving here and you're fine. Good to hear, Brian. So it seems to be working just fine for some and not so great for others. Like I said, my apologies. The last thing I want is a lagging stream because it's so frustrating. The most frustrating thing on the planet when you do a live is technical difficulties, just saying. But nonetheless, we shall continue with the stream. And like I said, for those who can't see it clearly now, for whatever reason, we'll have the replay up and the replay will have no lag. So it's a win-win for all of us. Smash the like, guys. Thank you, Fairground. Appreciate that. It helps out tremendously. NFTs feel like the Holland tulip bubble. Sure does. Didn't like most of the NFTs lose like 99% of their value? I remember there was a ugly looking NFT that Logan Paul claimed he bought for like something like 750,000. Then they're like, now it's worth $10. Isn't that crazy? Talk about bubbles. Maybe NFTs were like tulips. Who the frick knows? You know what I mean? I was looking into NFTs, made some art work to sell, but nothing happened. And I got out, never looked back. Word up. What up, JJ? Good to see you. Hey, JJ, how's the stream today? Can you see and hear me? Let me know, JJ. The 35.5 to 36 resistance is rough. Hope we blast there to it soon. I mean, we're only like $600 away, so we're likely to retest it soon, in my humble opinion. But let me know your thoughts. Yeah, does it matter that Satoshi has the keys to 1 million Bitcoin? Is that not concerning? Not concerning to me because Bitcoin was invented 15 years ago when it first launched, and he hasn't touched any of the Bitcoin from any of his wallets, and it is estimated to be 1.1 million in BTC. If he hasn't moved it in 15 years, why do you think he'll move it anytime soon? And who's to say Satoshi isn't dead? You know what I mean? Or the collective that represents him. Who knows? It's a mystery, but that's what makes this so exciting at the same time. You know what I mean? Sound is most important, and your sound is crystal clear. Thank you, War Player. I appreciate that. Bitcoin to 288,000 in 2025 without an ETF. Bitcoin to infinity in 2025 with an ETF. That's right. Send the Bitcoin price to the Ethereum max supply, which is infinity. And let's freaking go. I punished that like button hard. Thank you, Baxter. I appreciate that support. Much love, much respect. All right, fam, let's dive into our next story of the day and discuss the latest with Custodia Bank now offering Bitcoin custodial services. This is actually pretty cool. And this is Caitlin Long's company, by the way. She's also very bullish on BTC. Custodia Bank, a crypto-friendly bank founded by Bitcoin advocate Caitlin Long, launched its BT custody platform. The firm shared November 7th to announce the launch of Custodia Bank's Bitcoin custody service, targeting businesses like fiduciaries, investment advisors, fund managers, and corporate treasurers. The launch comes soon after Custodia Bank earned approval from the Wyoming Division of Banking to go live with the service, the announcement notes. In announcing the news, Custodia Bank emphasized that the platform is a non-lending bank built by Bitcoiners that offers segregated custody accounts on its custom-built Bitcoin custody platform. The statement said Custodia Bank offers integrated Bitcoin custody and US dollar services all on one platform designed to simplify the user operations while reducing risk. Here's what they shared. Since we built our Bitcoin custody platform in-house, we are especially grateful to those willing to help us by providing user feedback. Now, Custodia Bank's approval from the Wyoming Division of Banking follows a series of regulatory challenges for the firm. Back in January of this year, the Federal Reserve Board rejected the bank's application to become a member of the Federal Reserve System. Not surprising, right? Saying it was inconsistent with the required factors under the law. The Fed subsequently denied Custodia's request to reconsider its membership application in the system. That's just straight wrong. In a detailed report back in March, The Fed's board said the decision to reject Custodia's app was due to concerns about banks with high concentration of activities related to the crypto industry. Hence why they don't want it. They don't want to support crypto, fam. It's clear. Custodia Bank opened for business in August of this year, though the Fed has blocked much of its proposed business model, which doesn't come as a surprise. Founded in 2020, Custodia is a bank aiming to bridge the gap between digital assets and US dollar payments and a digital asset custodian. The firm was formerly known as Avante Financial Group and is based in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Custodia Bank did not immediately respond to requests for comment, but hey, it's definitely a good sign that adoption is coming and banks will be integrating Bitcoin, or they're just going to get left behind. So hopefully many major banks follow in the footsteps of Caitlin Long's Custodia Bank. But let me know, fam, how you guys feel. And a reminder, only keep in the bank what you're willing to lose at the end of the day. Because what if there was a bank run? Even with it being FDIC insured, they don't have the money to give it to everybody. Hence what happened earlier in the year with the regional banking crisis. And what happened in return to Bitcoin? We started pumping. In fact, Bitcoin's up well over 100% since the start of the year, and I feel we're just getting started. Isam says Bitcoin 80,000 by the end of the year. That's a beautiful target. Imagine new all-time high this year. Send it right before the halving, scheduled to be roughly 5 to 6 months out. Broken back is healing. Good to hear, James. Walk 0.6 mile today. So it sounds like the prayers are working. So continued prayers to James Elsey for his broken back and a speedy recovery to be fully healed. Jaws, what it do? UK in the building. Watching from Cornwall, England. I appreciate you guys on that side of the world. Love the stream, says Baxter. Thanks, fam. Stream is a little messed up, says JJ. It is what it is. Doing my best with you, fam. Aloha, JV. Have you looked into Tuska yet? I'm not familiar with that. Is that a coin? Is that a location? Please do let me know. What do you think about Dave Ramsey calling us idiots? Well, this was back in 2014. I think, obviously, when someone points the finger, there's 10 fingers pointing back at him. Now we can say Dave Ramsey clearly was the idiot because he told everyone Bitcoin ultimately was a scam, and that was back when it was trading at $550. So anyone who took investment advice from Dave Ramsey, you got wrecked. You know what I mean? And you missed out on one of the best investment opportunities of the decade. So be very careful who you listen to, fam. Just saying. All right, fam. Now let's dive into our next story of the day and discuss the latest with the ETF news coming out of Hong Kong, which I know is not in the mainland of China, but still considered a part of China. And I think we're going to have ETF adoption, not just in the United States, but clearly in Asia as well as in the Middle East, because in all markets, they're seeking it, and competition definitely a good thing, especially when it comes to these ETFs. So let's break down this latest report. Hong Kong is reportedly weighing the possibility of allowing the spot crypto ETF. In a Bloomberg report, the Hong Kong Securities and Futures Commission CEO, Julia Leong, outlines what it would take for the spot crypto ETFs to be authorized in the city-state. Quoting her here, "We welcome proposals using innovative tech that boost efficiency and customer experience. We're happy to try it as long as new risks are addressed. Our approach is consistent regardless of the asset." So according to Bloomberg, Hong Kong currently only allows future-based crypto ETFs, and among the listed products includes the Samsung Bitcoin Futures Active, as well as the Bitcoin and Ethereum Futures ETF issued by CSOP Asset Management. The possibility of a spot crypto ETF getting approved in Hong Kong comes at a time when Hong Kong's ambitions of becoming a leading digital asset hub are in high gear. According to the report, earlier in the year, Hong Kong rolled out a virtual asset regulatory framework, and on the crypto regulatory framework, here's what she shared. Hong Kong's comprehensive virtual asset regulatory framework follows the principle of same business, same risks, same rules, and aims to provide robust investor protections and manage those key risks. This will enable the industry to develop sustainably and support innovation. Also, reports emerged in June that Hong Kong Monetary Authority pushed for banks in the city-state to offer their services to licensed crypto exchanges. It was also reported in February that China was supposedly in support of Hong Kong's plans to allow both institutional and retail investors to trade in crypto assets. So there you have it, fam. mass adoption. Let's freaking go. We all know there's trillions of dollars sitting on the sidelines just awaiting that spot Bitcoin ETF approval. And once we get that green light, game on. It will absolutely be a game changer. So who do you think will get the ETF approval first? Do you think it will be BlackRock? Do you think it'll be Fidelity? Could it be Hong Kong? You know what I mean? Could it be maybe Dubai, some spot in the Middle East? Or do you think they'll all likely get approved at around the same time? Kind of like a domino effect. Let me know, fam. Asia narrative is going to be massive. You know that. Pubo, appreciate you. McLovin, what it do? Appreciate you tuning in. Tuska is Ryoshi's Finale project, worth checking out. Very similar attributes to Bitcoin. Interesting, Danny Bitcoin. Yeah, you don't want to have tunnel into the closed bank to get your keys or they get stolen. Good point, Baxter. Dave Ramsey is good for people that are in massive debt, not for investing advice. Word up, 1NT. I appreciate the feedback. Thank you for sharing. Germany in the building. Shout out to Tobias. Appreciate you tuning in, supporting the show. What it do? Don't keep your keys in a safety deposit box in a bank, in my opinion. Facts, that would be probably the worst place to store your private keys because they can access that at any time. Put it somewhere safe that no one else has access to would be my recommendation. Dubai will get it first. I guess so, says Jaws. We shall soon see. ARK is, says McLovin. Yeah, maybe ARK gets their ETF approval first. It'll be interesting to see, and we'll be keeping you in the loop with how all this plays out. You know what I mean? But anyways, fam, now let's discuss Bitcoin ETFs, being we're discussing them already, and it's on everyone's mind right now before we break into the latest prediction from one of the largest asset manager, Fidelity, who currently controls $4.5 trillion in assets under management. Let's first discuss these BlackRock ETFs and ETFs from some of the other asset managers. Here we go. The launch of a spot Bitcoin ETF from BlackRock is a highly anticipated event in the crypto industry. I'd say the biggest, most anticipated event next to the Bitcoin halving. You know what I mean? It's expected to provide unprecedented institutional access to the crypto market, representing a significant shift from leading banks and promising substantial capital inflows. These developments will eventually change the industry and kickstart the new market cycle. What we're seeing in the market at the current moment is still speculation by the whales, some traditional firms, and industry insiders. Now, while the move towards the ETF app approval is a positive development, the price discovery mechanism for Bitcoin is typically driven by derivatives like perpetuals. Let's keep in mind that these are leverage orders that can be liquidated with the right catalyst, whether on the upside or during a pullback as traders take profit or leverage longs get liquidated. This means that recent price hikes post-announcements weren't necessarily caused by a fresh inflow of institutional capital, though that will happen eventually. They were actually caused by speculation around ETFs, driven by people already plugged into the crypto space, including the whales. Quoting them here, an ETF approval means that there will be an exponential increase in the amount of capital with access to BTC. That's right, in spot ETF, unlike futures, there is true price discovery, so there will be no market manipulation. So we should still take this as a sign of institutional interest. It is not unlikely that the capital that kept Bitcoin outperforming traditional assets came from the large institutions or savvy allocators of capital buying ahead of the positive ETF news. CME futures are dominating the crypto future markets right now, suggesting that indeed it might be more traditional institutions that are speculating. These are some of the players that have entered the room in the previous cycles, bull run or not. This kind of activity is par for the course. Now, how capital from Bitcoin ETFs will eventually trickle down? Let's discuss it. We should still pay attention to the possibility of fresh capital coming in. Former BlackRock Managing Director Stephen Schoenfield stated at CC Data's Digital Asset Summit in London that an ETF approval can bring $20 billion into Bitcoin. While we all know that's extremely conservative, I'm looking at trillions pouring into the king, just saying. While Alliance Bernstein, the global asset management company, expects the BlackRock ETF approval to drive the crypto asset management way up. All the way up. Now, ultimately, an ETF approval means there will be an exponential increase in the amount of capital with access to BTC. This simple change will be greater than any other development in the market's history. This arrival of capital will come over time as more and more investors and asset managers digest the news, deciding that an allocation is not only responsible, but absolutely necessary preach. Likewise, the adoption of this financial product will take years as institutions such as broker-dealers, banks, and RIAs undergo due diligence and other processes before they can even offer Bitcoin ETFs. It will also hinge on the arrival of key players such as market makers that are an essential factor in building investor confidence. The role of the market maker is vital to ETFs. They are responsible for creating and redeeming new shares of an ETF, a role designed to keep its price tethered to the price implied by the value of the ETF holdings. Now, finally, we have the question of what a Bitcoin ETF means for the rest of the crypto market beyond Bitcoin itself. Market cycles have historically moved from Bitcoin first to ETH second, and then cycled into the smaller altcoins or more exotic projects. This time around, the effects might be less direct, but still obviously noticeable. It is true that a rising tide is not guaranteed in the aftermath of the ETFs going live, as the new inflow of capital will not come in the form of direct ownership of BTC. Investors who choose that instrument won't easily be able to change or diversify their exposure to other crypto assets until more ETFs are introduced. So there you have it, fam. What are your thoughts surrounding all this excitement and buzz regarding Bitcoin spot ETFs? Let me know in that live chat. We still got Bitcoin above 35,400. Let's see if we march on up to retest that 60 Gs. Greetings from Romania. I appreciate you tuning in, Mayro. What it do? I am 100% Bitcoin, but also taking an interest in Filecoin as a very interesting utility token. I appreciate you sharing that, Mayro. I liquidated myself out of a beer. No way, passive. For real? We gonna hit 36,000 tonight? It seems to be that way. If we do, I'll do another pump live watch party. If we break out above 36, do you want to see a live pump watch party, and how many of you will participate in that? Let me know in the comments, fam. And don't forget about that poll in the live chat right now. You know what I mean? Yeah, so let's go. What up, Cushy? Good to see ya. Robert Mornweck. Anybody correlate the short-term Bitcoin price with the live broadcast of Crypto News Alerts? Manipulation? What in the world? $125,000 Bitcoin late 2025, says Devin Morris. That's a nice target. I think extremely conservative, but anything is possible. I like Max Kaiser's short-term target of 220,000 per Bitcoin, but we shall soon see how it all plays out. How is the stream right now before we dive into our breaking story of the day? Did it correct itself, or is it still choppy like a mofo? Please do let me know as I sip on some water. And also, fam, on Rumble, we're also live on Rumble as well. Let me know how the stream is on Rumble. Are we also lagging there, or is it better? Please let me know. What up, Sherry Young? We should save an all-nighter for the ETF announcement for sure. When we get that ETF announcement, you know I'm going to be live 100%. You know what I mean? Why is ETH not moving? That's a brilliant question. Ask the investors. Why isn't anyone buying ETH? Is a good question. The ETH dominance is on the decline. It's been on a decline for quite some time. Just FYI. Still choppy, but you're managing. Appreciate it, Christopher. Still lagging. It is what it is. Like I said, when I upload the replay, it'll be perfect. So if you want to watch the visuals without the chop, you'll be able to do so once I get the replay up after the live stream. So we'll make that happen as well. All right, guys, with that being shared, now let's break into our featured story of the day and discuss what will one Bitcoin be worth in the year 2025. Well, Fidelity's head of macro, Jurrien Timmer, makes this prediction with an exact number. There's a brand new prediction I've never shared before. So let's break this one down, shall we? A massive shout out to everyone in that live chat just joining us. Fidelity Investments Global Macro Director, Jurrien Timmer, is updating his outlook on Bitcoin following the latest Bitcoin price surge. He just shared on X to his almost 200,000 followers. The Bitcoin can soar beyond $96,000 by 2025 due to two main factors. He lays out a scenario for Bitcoin's price performance in the coming years based on retail interest rates, which is the interest rate minus inflation, and the Bitcoin adoption rate, which is based on historical internet adoption. Quoting Timmer here, with Bitcoin moving up once again, will its adoption curve accelerate as it did a few years ago? And how does the macro trend on rates affect it? Here's the data to consider. Here you go. I show a fair value band based on both the slope of the internet adoption curve and the path for real rates. The bottom boundary assumes that the Treasury inflation protected securities real rate of 2.5%, and the upper boundary assumes negative 2%, which is where we were in 2021. The macro can speed up or slow down the adoption curve, which we have seen seen play out recently as outlined here in this chart. And looking at the chart, the analyst predicts the Bitcoin price would hit the lower bound of 41,000 in 2025 if the TIPS real rate remains as high as the current rate. However, if the real rate declines to what it was in 2021, the price prediction would soar to $96,210 in 2025, which is a 175% increase from the current value. Now let's read his thread, which he shared here on X. I also got to throw out there, he also is predicting a $1 billion Bitcoin price by the year 2038. So by 2025, yeah, a little conservative, but extremely bullish for the long haul on Bitcoin. And I know I've covered that previously here on the show. How many of you have heard the $1 billion price prediction from Jurrien Timmer, as I have covered it here? Let me know in that live chat. But anyways, let's just break down what he did share here in the thread so you can see the full discussion. Here we go. Above, I show the fair value, as I mentioned a little earlier. He also mentions the macro can speed up or slow down, which we have seen play out recently, as outlined in the chart. He also says, assuming for a moment that Bitcoin will mature into an asset class that plays on the same team as gold and silver, how should we think about where it should sit in a 60-40 portfolio, and what would be a reasonable position size? Great question. Here's what he says. The good news for Bitcoin is it is an annualized volatility down from its 2018 peak, although at 58%, it's still head and shoulders above traditional asset classes. That's right. There's no asset in which can compete with the king crypto, because Bitcoin is a hedge against inflation as well as a hedge against deflation. It's a store of value. It's incorruptible. It's unconfiscatable. And guess what? Gold can't compete either. He also shares here, even better, is 52-week correlation versus the S&P 500 had declined steadily and is now actually negative. More on the Bitcoin outlook on the next thread. And I highly encourage you to follow Jurrien Timmer. He shares a lot of good threads here, especially regarding Bitcoin and what's happening around, the ETFs, the Bitcoin halving, the macro, and all of these TA, which is technical analysis. You know what I mean? Let's see if I can find another good thread for you. He has quite a lot, and he's very active as well. Here we go. Here's a good thread right here. He mentions, continuing the discussion from my recent thread on Bitcoin, let's talk about Bitcoin as a store of value. Yes, please, let's talk about this, shall we? Gold is delivering solid risk-adjusted returns, remains hard to beat. Above, we see that gold has one of the best Sharpe ratios out there, but Bitcoin is respectable as well, in line with other major asset classes. This chart is based on monthly returns because it broadens the universe of alts. In this case, alts such as managed futures and equity long-short hedge funds are the less liquid variety, which broadens the mix while improving their returns. And below is a ranking of correlations to the S&P 500 based on monthly data of September. Bitcoin still has a positive correlation to the equities, but less than many other assets, as outlined right here in this chart. He also mentions that where might Bitcoin sit in a 60-40 portfolio? I mean, it's up to you guys how much you're going to diversify. It all depends upon your risk management. We all know, as Paul Tudor Jones called Bitcoin, the fastest horse in the race because it has the least risk, and it is most likely to continue to outperform all other major asset classes. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that. ETH is waiting, not dead by no means, says Passive. I was watching another live before this. The guy was preaching his short positions and kept getting wrecked in the pump. No way, like live and in the flesh. That's crazy. Jason Friani, 36,000 pump live stream. I'd be down. Love to hear that. Appreciate the feedback. Ever since ETH went from proof of work to proof of stake, it has been moving so slowly. That's right. You know what I mean? Also, it seems all projects and tokens that you can stake seem to be deemed unregistered security by the rules of the SEC. So that may be another, thing going on behind closed doors and why they wanted to change their protocol. Who really knows at the end of the day? But I covered in a previous episode, we discussed ETHgate and that the regulators are colluding with the ETH founders, Joseph Lubin, as well as Vitalik Buterin, and a lot of shenanigans could be going on behind closed doors. In fact, quoting the insider who worked for the SEC, he claims that the fraud with Ethereum and the regulators is 1,000 times bigger than the fraud of FTX. Let me know if you agree or disagree, fam. You know what I mean? What up, Christopher? Appreciate you. Stacy agreed. Good to note. Much love. Jurrien now to do the last 10 years, right? Shout out to Streamlabs. I appreciate the mods. Ever since ETH, I mean, it is what it is. Stacy says, funny how every YouTuber seemed to be so bearish this morning. Well, good to see they got wrecked. I think they're insane. I'm always bullish. Even in the most grim times, I keep my bullish, mentality because I understand Bitcoin enough. And even if there's a short-term, dump, we always rise back and come back stronger. It's inevitable. What's the alternative? If you had $1 billion right now and you were a billionaire, where do you park it? What's the alternative? Gold? Good luck trying to get it out of gold. It's kind of like real estate. It's a mess. It's not liquid. You know what I mean? Bitcoin is liquid. You can send and exchange it. You can do it over the weekends when the banks are closed. You can do it peer-to-peer. Gold, real estate, try liquidating it. It's a nightmare. You know what I mean? So there's no comparison whatsoever. What up, Dankness? He says ETH is a security. More than likely, probably will be deemed one, and that would give regulation with the CFTC. You know what I mean, should I get rid of my ETH for Bitcoin then? Asked Cushy. That's a decision you got to make on your own, fam. I've been tossing the idea around in my head, but if the regulators are in bed with the ETH founders, it's interesting, right? Respect the pump. Thank you, Stacy. What up, JV? What up, Cryptolution? Appreciate you. I do put money on altcoins to make more Bitcoin. It is a risk, but I think it is worth it, says Joseph. Well, hopefully you're making calculated risks and not blind risks, and don't just listen to what another YouTuber says. Oftentimes when a YouTuber is pumping an altcoin, it's because they're pumping it because they want to pump their own bags. You know what I mean? Typically after they purchase the altcoin, especially the low alts, the low market caps that are very susceptible to manipulation, they'll be like, yo, I think this is going to 100x, get your bags. They're just trying to get rich themselves, and then they're going to dump it on you, and there'll be a rug pull. That's a very common occurrence in this market. So trust nobody, verify everything. Be very careful out there. What up, Bitcoin Trini? What's up, guys? Let me know if the stream is any better, or is it still horrid as far as the lagging? I'd love to know as we're in our Q&A session for the day before we hop on over to Rumble in a little bit. Yeah, it is what it is. What's going on? Let me know. Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust spiked 2.5% at the same time Bitcoin did. Could it be a correlation? It could be. And right now we're above 35.5 and we're heading back north. You got to love that. Bitcoin only, no altcoins, says JJ. Word up. Bitcoin Trini, much love, much respect. Daps. Yes, so far, you're right, JV. They ain't catching me out like that. Word up. Is this video glitchy for anyone else? Yeah, it seems to be a little lag. People have been telling me, unfortunately, but we're going to upload the replay with no lag. So it'll be on the channel probably within the next hour or so, as soon as I can. If you're gaining value, smash that like. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sold all of my ish coins this morning and went all in on Bitcoin, currently 95%, and cash 5%. Well done, Abel Gonzalez. Massive congratulations. Only keep enough fiat/cash that you're willing to lose, and typically you just need enough to pay your bills, right? Because it's definitely not a savings vehicle, that's for sure. Expert pro tip, send the crypto you want to sell up to a limit to your brother, for example, and have him gifted back to you. Your new unrealized profit is now 0. You're welcome. This is advice coming from Cushy. Very interesting. Tristan, there is no second best by BTC. That's what's up. Would be awesome if Solana flips ETH this cycle. There's that possibility. Mayro, all good at my end. No lag. Wow. So it's kind of odd that it's working for some and not working for others. It is lagging, says Jazz. So mixed feedback there. Well, shout out to Marcio. I appreciate the subscription to the live show. Much love, much respect. Anyone who subscribes when I'm live will get an on-screen shout out, and I'll also shout you out as well. So make sure to smash that subscribe button, fam. I appreciate it. This show is the highlight of my day. Thank you, James. Means the world to me. Also, guys, don't forget, I'm also on Spotify and iTunes. We get hundreds of thousands of downloads per month, but that's the audio podcast. So for you guys who can't tune in to the visual, like Rumble or YouTube, that's the alternative. Make sure to support me over on Spotify and iTunes, because we're kicking butt over there as well. You know what I mean? And we're looking to smash 60,000 subscribers this week. Can you believe it? And the new Clips channel is about to smash 1,000 subs. And if you're not already subscribed to the Clips channel, it's clips.cryptonewsalerts.net. And what I'm doing is taking the shorts from the live stream and clips, and we're uploading them exclusively on the Clips channel. So make sure to check out the Clips channel and make sure you're subscribed, especially if you want to see shorts and clips of crypto news alerts. Never thrust a junkie, says Baxter. Word up. Video is slow and choppy. Sorry to hear that, fam. Probably glue tube. It could be. You never know. Could be the forces of evil at play. You never know. I am long play, though, with a 15-year horizon. That's what's up. And I recommend that as well. I tell people, you know what I mean? You got to have a long-term perspective when it comes to investing, especially Bitcoin, which is a new technology. It's only been out for 15 years, for Christ's sake. And if you can hold that for at least 2 cycles, which is 8 years, you're absolutely going to be very satisfied with the gains, because history shows us every single Bitcoin hodler who has hodled for 4 years or longer is in the green, right? Like clockwork. Every Bitcoin halving starts a new 4-year cyclical cycle, and we hit new all-time highs. We enter price discovery mode. Game on. Shout out to Robbie Kaiser, says JV for president. How about president of Bitcoin? I'll take Satoshi's position. I ain't trying to be no president of the United States, that's for sure. Gratz, day nada, Jeff, appreciate you, man. Has to be YouTube, because it is working perfectly fine for me. It could be. $0 G-Row, thanks for the feedback, fam. Very odd. And like I said, I tested my internet speed right before I went live, because I do that now every day, and it was perfect. Like 200 Mbps over 50, which is fan-freaking-tastic. And I'm plugged in directly with an Ethernet cable, so I'm not dependent upon Wi-Fi to prevent the lagging. So if it's lagging, maybe there's some mice in the ether. Who knows what's going on? Are you going to sell at the top of the run and then buy a couple months later? I don't play that game, Gray. I'm happy with my position, and I just keep stacking sats, and I don't like gambling, because you never know. You may think it's a top, and it's not. And you may sell, and then it's not even halfway towards the top. I'll give you a hypothetical. What if you're like, yeah, I got this all figured out. We always correct every cycle 80%, 90% from the top. So I'm just going to sell at the top and rebuy back. What happens? We hit 100,000. You think it's the top. Everyone else thinks it's the top. 60 days later, we rise to 200,000. And you sold it all because you're expecting us to crash back to 20,000. That can happen. In fact, it happens to the majority of the people who think they're smarter than the market makers, and they think they're smarter than Bitcoin. Bitcoin's on its own vector. You can't predict what's going to happen. I mean, let me correct myself. You can predict what's going to happen, but that doesn't mean it's going to be accurate. The whole consensus of the community can think they have it all figured out, but doesn't mean it's going to happen. There could be black swans. There can be light swans. Who knows? So many things, you know what I mean? So expect the unexpected. I don't think I'm smarter than Bitcoin, and I don't want to get too greedy thinking I'm smarter than the market, because clearly I am not smarter than the market. I don't believe I have it all figured out. All I know is this, in my mind, what I have figured out, if I just buy Bitcoin, keep dollar cost averaging, and never sell it, every cycle it's worth more money. And I'm very grateful for the gains I have achieved. And look, we're pumping. I'm telling you, we're going to test 36,000, almost 35.7 right now, right? I got into Bitcoin in 2017 when Bitcoin was only $1,500. So I am very grateful for the appreciation of the asset thus far. And I'm not too greedy. I'm not trying to be like, yo, I have to sell at the top and rebuy back in. That's a game I don't want to play. But I understand if this is your first cycle, everyone thinks the same exact way you're thinking right now. I'll just buy it back. But what happens if it just keeps going up? You think you timed it, but you didn't time it, and you get wrecked. So be prepared for all scenarios. That's all I'm saying. You can't be too cautious. You know what I mean? Lots of variables, 100%. All past charts may become irrelevant post Bitcoin ETF and institutional adoption. Good point, right? We're in uncharted territory. When we're in price discovery mode, you can't figure out how high we're going to go. There's no way. Right? If we were 70,000 right now, everyone has maybe a target, like we're going to hit 100, we're going to hit 222, we're going to hit 350, but nobody knows. What if we just climb to 500,000, right? And everyone sells their bags, and only the devout people of Bitcoin who did not sell make out. You know what I mean? So something to consider. Let's go. Pump it up, Jerome. Let's go. That's right. It's easy to buy at the bottom. It's impossible to sell at the top. Amen. So just buy the dips. Don't get too greedy. I mean, you got to respect the fact that how much Bitcoin appreciates. For example, everyone who has been holding Bitcoin since the beginning of the year, you're up over 100%, right? In the fourth quarter of last year, we hit the cycle bottom, 15,700. How many YouTube influencers were saying, oh, we're going to go down to 10. I just sold my whole bag. I'm expecting us to go back down to 10, and then misleading the masses. It's sad. I'm not going to mention names, but you know who I'm talking about. So many influencers. It was insane. But how many of you are happy with your 100% price increase gains? Not too shabby, right? So don't get greedy. Bitcoin's going to do what it do. You're going to have tremendous gains. I'm telling you. I was buying at 17,000. Congratulations, game dudes. Jeff S., here we go. That's right. We're pumping, baby. 35.8 incoming. Bring it. Being sick sucks, says Cushy. Just got back from Niagara Falls with the fam, and we all got back to Ish-Hole, Philly. Oh, that sucks. To change the weather. Sorry to hear that, fam. That's Homo Rocky, right? The Italian Stallion. Wasn't he in Philly in that movie? What up, Erico? Appreciate you tuning in. I remember the 10K thing, says Gray. Word up. What up, CMG? Data Dash. That's one of them. One of many. Another is a female influencer. Her name starts with a W. She was preaching that she sold her whole entire stash because she believed it was going to drop down to $10,000. Not going to mention names. We have many other influencers as well. A lot of them. Some of the influencers are some of the biggest in crypto, and that's what's sad about all this. They're misleading you, fam. They don't understand Bitcoin, and they're coiners. Just saying. Big buyer playing today. You already know Christopher. We got asset managers going ham, preparing for the ETF. It would drop to 20 Bitcoin, says Fairgrounds. I don't believe them when they'd say, yeah, that's right. You shouldn't believe them. Believe nobody, right? Even if I told you Bitcoin's going to do this with 100% certainty, why would you believe me? For someone to be 100% certain means they have to come from the future. Right? I keep it real. I say there's probabilities. Bitcoin is more probable going to go up and test 36,000. Notice I didn't say it's guaranteed to test 36,000 today, but I said it's highly probable it's going to do that because look how much we're rising. You know what I mean? So we got to keep it real and be prepared for all scenarios. There's always probabilities. Yes, you got it right, Baxter. I remember that clip. Preach, JV. So many so-called experts out there. You already know, fam. It's wild, to say the least. But I think we're going to test 36,000 here shortly during my Rumble stream. I'm going to end on YouTube. My apologies for the lag. Wasn't my intention. I apologize. And I'm going to have the replay with no lag uploaded as soon as the stream ends on Rumble. But what I'm going to do now, head on over to Rumble. If you're not on Rumble, if you didn't know, I stream simultaneously live at the same time on Rumble and YouTube. So we're going to end the YouTube stream. I'm going to go to Rumble. We're going to do our live uncensored Q&A because I can't speak uncensored on YouTube for obvious reasons. And then after the stream ends on Rumble, I'll upload the replay from YouTube today on my channel so you can watch it without the lag because, again, I just hate disappointing anybody. What up, guys? No alts, only Bitcoin. Word up, Niles. Appreciate you tuning in, Niles Anders. Bitcoin CEO is raising the price again. Shout out Satoshi. Long live the king. Well, I appreciate y'all. Deuces, YouTube. Head on over to Rumble right now, and I look forward to seeing you there. Let's freaking go.